Oh, hello, Roman.
Miss Zorn?
Hello, Marie. We have plans to make. Oh, hi.
Marie? Oh, what was all that about?
Oh, just girl talk. Come on in. I hope I haven't kept you waiting too long.
Oh, no. Haven't you heard? I've got all the time in the world.
I know that you can't do anything in an official capacity.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Why don't we get started?
All right. Fine. I noticed that you had narrowed the files down to men that had been convicted of a violent crime for emotional reasons.
Well, it seemed like the logical thing to do under the circumstances. I mean, I don't think we're going to find our strangler involved in a white-collar crime like embezzlement.
No, I agree about that. But this man has gotten away with murder for quite some time now. I think he must be of above-average intelligence.
Maybe so. But I still think we should eliminate crimes of passion first before we start picking on petty thieves and corporate manipulators.
Fine. You know, you have a number of possibilities.
Yeah, but, what about your files?
What about them?
Well, I'm more interested in your files than I am with mine, Doc. You see, I'm pretty familiar with most of the cases in there, and I don't think any of them could be the strangler. Can you say the same thing about yours?
Well, no, I couldn't really say anything, for sure.
You mean you won't say anything? Now, what would happen if you should find someone in those files, someone you knew could be a suspect? Do you think you could analyze him out of killing again?
No, no, I never said that.
Well, didn't you learn anything when I pretended to be the strangler and waltzed right into this office and had you alone in here? Oh, I'm sorry. Listen.
Oh.
What would you have done if I really had been the strangler?
I don't know. Oh. Thank you.
Can I see that?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you pick the restaurant?
How about my place? I could cook.
Well, I could bring the wine.
All right, that's all right.
Yeah. What about Johnny?
Johnny, is over at Joshua's still.
I see.
I've got to talk to Valerie, so I think we should just wrap this up for now.
Yeah, okay.
Get right down to what business?
I want to know everything you know about this patient that the both of you seem so interested in. What's his name, Eugene Bradford?
We're not interested in any patients. We've only been going over some of Marlena's files.
All right, let's just knock off this tennis ball routine, okay? Now, I want you to listen to me, and you listen good. If either one of you decides to play amateur detective or even tries to walk across the street without checking first with myself or Abe Carver, so help me God, I will have you run in on so many charges that you'll be in jail till hell freezes over. Now, do you understand me?
Terrible damage to a man who's emotionally unbalanced if we turn him over to the police.
Don already knows the man's name.
I know. That's why I've got to work fast to find out the truth.
Marlena.
I'm going to call the restaurant where Eugene works.
Marlena, don't.
Look, if Eugene Bradford is the killer, I've got to tell the police, but I've got to be sure about it first.
You checked out for the day.
Well, we had, but we came back to work on some files. We'll be in my office and don't want to be disturbed.
Unless it's an emergency.
Okay, I'll take messages, but I won't put any calls through.
Great. Thanks, Kayla.
Okay, I'm going off in a bit, so I'll let my relief know that you don't want to be bothered unless it's an emergency.
All right, now, Don Craig or Abe Carver may be looking for me, so if they are, just tell them that I'm not here.
Okay, got it.
Thanks. told me there are marital problems.
Yeah, well, I guess so.
It's not something you guess about, Gene. If there are problems, let's talk about them.
My wife doesn't want me.
Has she said so?
She turns away from me when we go to bed at night. She seems to fall asleep, but I know she's pretending.
How can you tell?
The way she breathes.
I see. Why do you think she pretends to be sleeping?
She doesn't want me to make love to her.
How long has that been going on?
A couple of years.
Have you tried to talk to her about it?
No, not really.
Why not?
Well, we can't talk about sex. We never have. For her, that's something that happens when the room is dark.
I'm sorry, Gene. It's a difficult situation for a man to have to live with.
I hate her sometimes, you know. She makes it all so dirty. We never make love in the daylight.
I'll never forget that session. He cried for an hour. I held him in my arms, and he just cried without ever making a sound.
And 6 months later, he strangled his wife.
Val, is this our killer?
I don't know.
You know, it's a terrible thing to accuse somebody of murder when you're not sure. I can't do that. I can't turn this man over to the police unless I am sure that he is the strangler.
I don't know, Marlena. It would be very dangerous to try to see this man alone.
You know, I called the restaurant. They said he was homesick. I'm glad you got his home address.
You can't go there by yourself. Now, promise me you won't do that.
Frighten the man off by calling him first. I'm going to stop by his apartment, tell him that I was concerned about him and that I wonder why he never came back as a patient.
I'm not going to let you do that, Marlena.
Val, you can't stop me.
I'm going to call Roman Brady.
You listen to me. I let you hear that tape as a professional confidence so that I wouldn't have to decide by myself about Eugene. And we both know that he's unbalanced. We don't know that he's homicidal.
For heaven's sake, he strangled his wife.
It doesn't mean he's strangling the other women in Salem.
Marlena.
Val, if you value our friendship and our professional association, don't use that phone after I leave.
Who's there?
It's Dr. Evans, Dr. Marlena Evans. Mr. Bradford, do you remember me? You were a patient of mine for a while.
Yeah, I remember you.
Well, I'd like to talk to you, if you'd open the door.
Go away, I don't have anything to say.
Well, it's really rather important. It'll just take a moment. Mr. Bradford?
I can't let you in here.
Please, just for a moment.
Why don't you go across the street to the park?
The park?
Yeah, the bench by the fountain. I'll meet you there in 10 minutes.
It's really dark over at the park. It would be a lot nicer to talk here where it's warm.
Go to the park. It's easier to talk out in the open.
All right. The park, in 10 minutes. Please don't forget, it's very important to me.